Drew here from LearnGuitarInLondon.com. I'm playing Tom Petty and Free Falling. I had to think about it there for a minute, but no, it's a massively iconic song. Okay, so it's very simple, okay? It's a very simple song. There's a little bit of thumb stretching if you're a complete beginner, but it's quite straightforward. It's got one chord progression throughout the whole song, so if you're a beginner, fantastic 4-chord song. Cool, let's get started. So starting on a D chord, just so that we know what we're talking about, guitar-wise, string-wise, and I'll talk about that in a minute as well. The guitar, as you probably know, has got 6 strings, and I call the strings Eddie 8 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie, so that's E, A, D, G, B, E, okay? Try to come up with your own acronym or system to actually so you actually know the names of the string notes. It's very useful, especially when you're tuning a guitar as well. Okay, the other thing is we need to talk about fingers, because using the right fingers is the right thing to do in guitar playing. So index, middle, ring and pinky. And finally frets. Now I've got a capo on here for this particular song, so the capo is going over the 3rd fret, alright, so that's where you should have your capo to make it sound like the original. It doesn't matter if you don't have a capo. I mean, listen, it sounds pretty good without a capo. It just sounds different. And if you've got a lower voice and you want to sing it, then that's a good key to be in, okay? Tom Petty's got a slightly higher voice, so he popped the capo on the 3rd fret. Alright, so there you go, we're all good. And we're using a pick for this one. Thumb can sound cool as well. I prefer to use the pick. So we start with a D chord. We put our index finger down on the 1st fret on the G string, our middle finger down on the 2nd fret on the E string, the bottom E, and our ring finger down on the 3rd fret on the B string. Now it's a D but with a twist, okay? So this is your D. You also need to curl your thumb over the top of the guitar and hold down the 2nd fret on the thickest E string, okay? So that should be your chord. That's what your chord looks like. You need to grip over. And that's the chord you're looking for. What you need to double check once you've brought that thumb over is that there's no muting. That should be ringing. If you're getting, then it could be that your fingers are pulling down and they're touching strings they shouldn't be. Just try to stay on your fingertips, try to make little micro adjustments and keep picking it to check to see if it's ringing. If you don't get it after about sort of 5 minutes of trying, then don't get frustrated. Just come back to it another day, okay, and keep making adjustments. You've just realised that it's to do with the strength in your fingers. Okay, and also for this one we should be deliberately muting the 2nd string down, the A, so that when we strum we're actually not sounding that A note, because we don't want that in this chord. And I'm doing that just by using this excess part of my thumb over that string, so it's just lightly touching it, deliberately muting it. So that's your 1st chord. And then changing to a folk G or G, well, it's still a G, it's just got an extra note in it. Okay, so this is the change, okay? Bring the little pinky down onto the 3rd fret on the thinnest string, lift up these fingers, bring these 2 fingers now up onto the 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret in relation to the capo, okay? I'm not going to say 5th fret because that doesn't make sense. So in relation to the capo, so there's the capo, 1, 2, so this is the 2nd fret, and then middle finger on the 3rd fret on the thickest string. For that chord you strum the bottom 6. So we've got G. Then we're going to go G again, and then we're going to change to a G/F sharp. So this is the G, lift up this finger, put the index finger up here to the 2nd fret on the E string. And with that chord as well, you're deliberately muting the 2nd string down, the A string. So you do that, apply pressure to the top string, and then deliberately let your finger flatten slightly so that you're muting the A string. And that's your next chord. Okay, so. And then we're finishing on an A chord. Now from here, the change to the A, try this. I know a lot of you are going to want to go like that, but try this. It's better for your little finger. It makes your little finger stronger, okay, and you'll be a better guitarist for it. So move this little block of fingers from the G to the 2nd fret, so you're now on the B and the G string on the 2nd fret, and then bring the middle finger over also onto the 2nd fret on the D string. And for that chord, strum the bottom 5. That is your chord progression. Okay, that's everything. So that's the left hand sorted. For the A, I think I just said strum the bottom 5. So it's D slash F sharp, G, G, G slash F sharp, A. It's a bit of a mouthful to say, but that's it. So it's good. Now it doesn't end there. That's the left hand sorted out. A lot of YouTube guitarists, it's all about the left hand, but let's really focus in on what the rhythm is for this, because the rhythm makes the song sound great, and I'm going to teach you a couple of ways of thinking about it, okay? So, first of all, I'd like you to try and think of it like this. 1 and 2 and, okay? So, let's take each chord, and for each chord we're going to break it up into 2 parts, alright? So try this first of all. 1, 1 and 2. So with your hand, count 1 and 2. They're called ghost drums. You're going to miss the strings there. Now you're changing on the and of the 2 to the G, alright? Sorry, yeah, to the G. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice I'm missing every time. Try it, it works. Yes, you can maybe be able to play the chords, but if you don't have it with the rhythm, it's not going to sound great, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So the whispers that I'm doing there, that's the measure, that's the beat of the song. You can try playing it along with me, or just try doing those counts, okay? The next part, okay, so we're going to go 1 and, so that's 2 downstrokes straight away, no ghost drums, and we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and that's changing to the A there on the and of the next bar. So let's take that from the beginning. Try to follow these ghost drums, okay, or count, whatever you prefer. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, another way of doing it is you can actually play it to a metronome. So you can download a metronome to your phone, and a metronome is like having your own drummer on standby, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to put in a beat. So try popping in 92 into your metronome, and can you hear that there's 4 clicks there? 1, 2, 3. So to the metronome it would sound like this. I can't stress enough how practicing to a metronome really will open up your playing no end, okay? Great, so that's your verses. You could even play that for the chorus if you want, but what I've done is I've come up with another rhythm pattern for the chorus. I don't know if it's what Tom's doing in the records, but it sounds pretty cool and I really like it. And it's another thing just to try to hammer home this idea of rhythm, and also it doesn't sound too boring just doing the same rhythm pattern for the whole song. Okay, so the rhythm pattern I've got is this. Okay, the second time I played it was correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to achieve that. The chord changes are all the same, okay? So we're going to start on a D and we're going to go down, miss, miss, down, miss, miss, up, down, up, down. Okay, that's from the D to the G in the beginning. Down, miss, miss, up, down, up, down. Okay, now to finish off holding down that G before we change to the F sharp part. So we go down, miss, miss, down, miss, miss, up, down, up. miss, miss, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? Now that seems too long when it's slow like that, but I'll do it again, so it's down, miss, miss, up, down, miss, miss, up, down, up. Okay? Now as soon as we come from that up, we're going to go down again. Okay, so up, down, up, down, up, down. Down, miss, down, miss, down, miss, down. To the F sharp. Alright, so let's do that again. So it's G, miss, miss, up, down, down. So that's a down on the G, the next part. Then we're going to miss the up. Down, changing to the G, F sharp, like I showed you at the beginning. Miss, so I'm going to go G, G, F sharp, miss, and then you're going to go down, up, down, onto the A, okay? So I'll do just the second half, so it's down, miss, down, up, down, miss, miss, up, down, up, on the A chords. Right, I understand that's a lot to follow, so I'm going to do it very slowly. Alright, let's start from the G. So from the D, from the beginning of the chorus. Miss, miss, up, down, up. I'll start that again, got distracted by a siren. Okay, let's start that again. So down, miss, miss, up, down, miss, miss, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, miss, up, down, up. Okay, I'll do that one more time. So hopefully you can see where I'm doing those changes. Because actually it sounds better faster to slow it down and break it down like that for you makes it a little bit confusing. So there's actually a top speed where it starts to make sense, and that's about as slow as I can get away with. But I'll now do it at top speed, so it's... And that sounds really good over the chorus. And I'm free, free falling part. Sounds really, really good. You thread those two ideas together and the song sounds really, really cool. Okay? Really, really cool. Very good. Okay, so I hope that's been useful. I really wanted to document the rhythm for you on the right hand with this song because there's quite a few versions of it all over YouTube. But the rhythm is something that I notice not all teachers go into. So I really hope that's been useful for you. Happy playing, and by the way, if you've liked this video and you've liked the idea, you know, that I've been very comprehensive with rhythm and showing you how to change between the chords, etc., then go to learnguitarinlondon.com and there is loads of other videos there. If you sign up to my student area, then I can send you tips on how to play the guitar, how to get the most out of your practice time, and really if you're an enthusiastic guitarist and you're looking and hungry to learn more, then it's a very valuable resource for you. It's all completely free, just takes an email address. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.